Hey what's up, guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today we're going to be doing a mock draft for the 2024 NFL draft. That's right, mock draft season is officially back. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Now, I purposely haven't really posted one this year because the ranking, it hasn't changed who's number one, who's number two, who's number three. I'm like, you know what, I'd rather wait until I see a massive change in the, who's actually going to be picking. And this week, there was a massive change. Arizona jumped to 1, the Giants jumped to 4, Pats are 5. Certain people change. But, so today what I'm doing, I'm going to do as realistic of a mock draft as I possibly can. Explain almost every single pick. Not super duper in depth. I don't want this to be an hour and a half video. But definitely in depth enough to where I'm explaining what's going on. So I think, starting at number 1 overall, we already know Kyler Murray is probably going to be their quarterback. I don't think that they're going to be trading Kyler Murray at all. So we will be doing a trade. And I think there is one team that would trade up. I'm not gonna do like actual like draft. I think it'd be probably 3 first-round picks, multiple second-round picks. I think it'd be a very big trade package for the Patriots to move up. But Bill Belichick just signed a massive extension to continue being the head coach of the Patriots and the GM. There's no way he's gonna be doing that with Mac Jones. They're absolutely if they're in the top 5, they're trading up and they're grabbing Caleb Williams. I think that's absolutely what they have to do. Caleb Williams, he's not the best when it comes to structured play. He's more of that, I'm gonna make my own play. But I do think that Bill Belichick, he's not gonna sit around and let Mac Jones ruin his legacy. He's gonna make one massive final swing for another Super Bowl. I think Caleb Williams is gonna be the guy to lead him there. And that makes the Bears with the Carolinas pick number 2 overall. I think it's another trade that would be happening. And another team that cannot keep losing is the Denver Broncos. Same thing. I think it's gonna be another 2 first-round picks, multiple second-round picks. But we've seen that this ownership group does not accept mediocrity. I mean, we saw that when they traded for Russell Wilson. We saw when they traded for Sean Payton. All the moves that they've made is not made me think that they're going to be okay with being bad. I think they're going to make one more final swing. Say, you know what, Russ, whether you're the starter or the backup for Drake May, or you have to mentor him, we don't care. Drake May is a future for our franchise. I think Sean Payton loves a Drake May type of quarterback. Drake May, he's better in structure than Caleb Williams. He's more accurate in structure, but Caleb Williams is the better athlete, better trait. But Drake May is right behind him at number 2 overall. And I do think that if the Broncos can get a Drake May type of quarterback, a Drew Brees-esque, sit in the pocket, wait for it to develop, boom, hit him. That's what Sean Payton wants. It's not what Russ is anymore. I think Drake May going to the Broncos would be a great steal for them. Even though it's at number 2, I think it'd be a steal in the words of, they didn't have to have the number 1 overall pick and take him. They could trade up. Like, wow, we actually got this guy at number 2? Seriously? We have him at number 2? Cool. We don't have to trade up one more spot. Then the Bears obviously could be taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's a bona fide lock it in right now. Whatever position, the Bears will be taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think the Colts are going to be bad enough to be drafting, sadly, Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Sr. is actually their wide receivers coach, so it kind of sucks that we're not going to see him in an Indianapolis Colts uniform anytime soon, but it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best wide receiver in the class. Bears need another wide receiver. They have DJ Moore, him and Marvin Harrison Jr. with Darnell Mooney, Velus Jones, Tyler Scott from Cincinnati. There's a lot of really good wide receivers on that team, and Marvin Harrison just really makes that wide receiver 1 and 2 solidified. And everyone else can be complimentary, 3s, 4s, and 5s for that offense. And also, as you can see, the Bears keep Justin Fields for at least 1 more year. In 2025, maybe they trade up if they suck enough. They just draft a quarterback, but they trade up for a quarterback. But I think this is a team that, hey, let's just continue to build around the quarterback position, and then once we're ready to make that final swing, instead of having a really bad team and then having Justin Fields, we have a really good team, and then whoever the next quarterback is. And maybe Justin Fields continues to develop. Before his injury, he was really showing good signs of development in this offense. But I think the head coach is gone, offense is gone. Brian Poles will probably be gone as well. But I think no matter what, they need to continue to build this team around the quarterback position and then get that quarterback once everything else is ready for a Super Bowl. That's what the Broncos did. That's what they thought they were doing, at least. They surrounded that defense had a lot of talent. The offense had a lot of talent. Then it's all went to crap because it just made a bad move. But they did what they thought of, build around the quarterback position and trade or draft that franchise quarterback, and they traded for one, and obviously. Then the New York Giants, I'm gonna do a little bit of a shocker. I think they need another wide receiver. The Giants, man, they do not have a good roster right now at all. I wouldn't be shocked if they trade back to get more value. but there's no one that no one that anyone would trade up for. If I'm the Giants, I'm grabbing a bona fide wide receiver one. If you want to look at his yards, he has 981 yards in 8 games. Last year in 14 had 1,000. He's going to surpass that. He has triple the touchdowns. This guy, if it wasn't for Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors would be the wide receiver one in this class. I think the Giants, they don't draft for positional value. They draft for what they absolutely need. And I wouldn't be shocked if Olu Fashanu, Brock Bowers, and Malik Neighbors are the top 3 that are still on the board. You already traded for Darren Waller, so you can't take a tight end. Unless you want to move Evan Neal in the right guard and move Olu Fashanu from left tackle to right tackle and do a whole lot of mixing up in the offensive line, you can do that, but you really want to draft 3 tackles in the top 7 of the last 4 drafts. I don't know if you want to do that. Malik Neighbors is a bona fide wide receiver one. Then you have Malik Neighbors, Isaiah Hodgins, Paris Campbell, Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton. You have all these complimentary guys for wide receivers 2 and 3. Then you have Malik Neighbors as that bona fide wide receiver one. He's been phenomenal this year. Then I do have the Arizona Cardinals taking Olu Fashanu to be their franchise left tackle. They have Paris Johnson Jr. playing right tackle right now. He's not playing horrible. It's not playing up to the standard you would want. But rookie tackles always struggle. I mean, Andrew Thomas struggled. I guess what's his name? Tristan Wirfs didn't struggle. But literally every single tackle struggles in their rookie year because the pace is different. The pass rushers you're going up against are 28, 29, 30-year-old men in their prime up against, compared to 18, 19-year-old pass rushers in the Pac-12, in the SEC. Like, it's different. So it does take a little bit of time to develop and get your body ready. So Olu Fashanu and Paris Johnson Jr. for Kyler Murray, I think would be an awesome thing for Kyler Murray. Get 2 franchise tackles back-to-back. And the Cardinals trade back, probably get 2 first-round picks and multiple seconds and thirds. And you still have a pick coming up from Houston at pick 11. The number 6, I do have the Packers taking Joe Alt. It sucks that David Bakhtiari can't stay healthy, but you got to move on. You got to move on. You say, hey, David, we appreciate, what you did for this franchise. We gave you a lot of money as well. Let's just, move on. Let's amicably move on. We'll trade you to the Jets. We'll cut you so you can sign wherever you want. Let's just move on. We got Joe Alt at left tackle. He's not a franchise tackle, but he's definitely one of those top, top blue chip prospects at tackle that you can have in the last couple of drafts. And if he would have come out last year, because I believe he's a senior, right? Isn't he a senior? No, he's a junior. Sorry, I thought he was eligible to come out last year. But if he would have come out last year, him and Paris Johnson Jr. would have debated for wide receiver one, and Olu Fashanu would have been the number 1 tackle, period. So the fact that the Cardinals can get back-to-back number 1 tackles in their classes, that's A+, and then the Packers get their franchise left tackle, A+ again. Then I have a little bit of a shocker for the Colts. There's a lot of areas that they can go. Jazon Newton, move on from either Grover Stewart or DeForest Buckner. Chop Robinson to go with Kwity Paye. But I'm going Brock Bowers. I understand Jelani Woods, Andrew Ogletree. I get that they're pretty solid tight ends. You have Mo Alley Cox as well. Are you going to let a 3rd-round tackle, a tight end, a 4th-round tight end, and a 31-year-old tight end stop you from drafting Kyle Pitts 2.0, but he's even better at blocking? No. I saw what Shane Steichen did with Dallas Goedert last year. I want to see that with Brock Bowers. I want to see what he can do with Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, and Josh Downs. I want to see what Anthony Richardson can do with all these weapons, with Jonathan Taylor, this offensive line another year. Maybe grab a tackle or a guard, or I guess a guard or a center in the 2nd round, continue to build an offensive line. I understand that you need help on defense. I get it. But build such a powerful offense around your rookie quarterback that for the next draft or 2, that's where you heavily invest, 1st, 2nd, 3rd round, prime, really heavy draft capital in the defense. Get this offense going. Get Anthony Richardson comeback player of the year. Get him solidified as this is our guy. Or again, in 2 years, if he's not the guy, you have such a powerful offense for whatever quarterback you want to put in there. But I do believe Anthony Richardson will be that guy. So build these guys around Anthony Richardson. You got Jonathan Taylor. You got Michael Pittman you need to extend. You got Alec Pierce and Josh Downs. You got this offensive line. Get Brock Bowers. And you can still keep Jelani Woods and Andrew Ogletree and Mo Alley Cox. Have, throw in a bunch of tight ends for different, when you're in the red zone, have 3 tight end sets. Brock Bowers is probably the best blocking tight end in the last 5-6 years coming out. He's such a good blocking tight end, and he's still an elite receiver. There's so much that you can do with this offense if you grab a Brock Bowers. I know what Shane Steichen can do with an amazing tight end who can receive. and block in Dallas Goedert. I want to see what he can do with Brock Bowers. That's my pitch for Brock Bowers going to the Colts. Then at number 8, I do have the Bears going Chop Robinson. So the Bears, they walk out with Marvin Harrison, Chop Robinson, and probably multiple first-round picks from the Denver Broncos. That's it. That's an amazing haul for them. They get the best edge rusher in the class and the best wide receiver in the class at number 3 and number 8. The Bears, they run to the bank if this is what they're going to get. Chop Robinson, absolutely from Penn State, being phenomenal. Dallas Turner, I think, is a little bit better, but I think that for their system, Chop Robinson fits better. Dallas Turner is not bad, right? I don't think Dallas Turner is bad, but I just think for me, I would rather have a Chop Robinson guy than a Dallas Turner guy, and Dallas Turner is still phenomenal. But you guys are gonna see, I just think that he's not gonna be as highly scouted as people think. I just don't see it. He's just still gonna be a high draft pick, but I don't think he's a top 10 guy. Then with the LA Rams, I am gonna go Jazon Newton. I believe he has a nickname. Is it Jimmy Newton or Johnny Newton? I think it's Johnny Newton. I can't remember. I don't watch that much Fighting Illini. I'm sorry. But Aaron Donald is aging. You obviously grabbed the rookie. What's his name? The rookie, Kobe Turner. You got Kobe Turner to be your opposite nose tackle. Aaron Donald is aging. Maybe you can trade him for multiple for a first round pick or multiple seconds and thirds. Grab Jazon Newton, who's same thing, a little undersized, 6'2", 295, but he has the same athletic prowess as Aaron Donald. I think that Jazon Newton can be a really good fit for this LA Rams defense because we've seen what they can do with Aaron Donald. I think Jazon Newton can fit the exact same scheme. Then the Washington Commanders, I do have them going Jared Verse. I thought it was Jared Versay last year when he was coming out, and then he decided to go back to Florida State to try and win a national championship. I thought it was Jared Versay. It is Jared Verse. I think the Commanders are trying to trade Chase Young or Montez Sweat. Outside of those guys, they don't have that many pass rushes that I believe in. Jared Verse, well-versed. Well-versed in a lot of different schemes. Solid run defender, good pass rusher, 16.5 pass rush win rate. You can't beat that. But 18 hurries, 5 sacks. This guy is a constant pressure machine on the quarterback. And I think same thing, this Commanders team, they could use offensive line help. They could use definitely, offensive line help. Use some secondary help as well. But if I'm them and I'm trying to trade Montez Sweat or Chase Young, I'm getting someone to replace him immediately because this defense needs to be elite to help this offense. And then the Cardinals, they do grab Kool-Aid McKinstry, the best cornerback in this class. They get him at number 11. So the Cardinals walk out with Olu Fashanu and Kool-Aid McKinstry yet again, the number 1 tackle, number 1 corner, just like the Bears and the number 1 wide receiver, number 1 edge. It'd be amazing for them. It'd be amazing for them if they got Kool-Aid McKinstry. 6'1", 195, best cornerback in the class, can play slot, can play outside, man, corner, good press corner, zone. Like Kool-Aid McKinstry in the Cardinals defense would be really good. I'd be really excited to see what Jonathan Gannon could do with a Kool-Aid McKinstry. Let me actually go. I want to make sure I get this right. Because Arizona last year, Garrett Williams out of Illinois. I believe it. No, Syracuse. Yeah, Garrett Williams out of Syracuse was one of my draft steals. And the Cardinals got him. They also got Starling Thomas V, one of my draft steals. And they got him. And Keicho Clark, one of the best nickel cornerbacks I've seen in the last couple of years. They got him in the 6th. Kool-Aid McKinstry is one of those guys for me that I think he's going to be really good immediately. He'll probably overtake Marco Wilson day one. Day one will be better than Marco Wilson, better than Antonio Hamilton Sr. The fact that Starling Thomas and Keicho Clark aren't starting right now is criminal. We need to figure out why you're not starting 2 really good rookies who have a lot of good for them, and Kool-Aid McKinstry could walk in, boom, immediately make that cornerback room even better. And the Cardinals could definitely use that. Then, with the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm going to do something you guys are not expecting. They're going quarterback. Who are they going, though? They're going Bo Nix. Are they going Michael Penix? Are they going J.J. McCarthy? No. They're going Shedeur Sanders. Listen, I understand it. I get it. It's been 1 year of solid production in non-HBCU play, but this dude is special. He's special. He's the reason their offense does anything. He has no offensive line and no run game. He is the reason that the Colorado offense does anything. He has a clutch gene, multiple game winner drives this year. His defense just lets stuff up that they shouldn't be letting up. Him and Travis Hunter are the only solid pieces of this team. I mean, the safety that stayed from Colorado's played okay. Shiloh Sanders has played okay, but like this Xavier Henderson has not played. Or is it Hutcherson? It's his running back Xavier. I know it's the first name is Xavier. He's not playing to what I thought he would do in FBS play. The offensive line's horrible. It's horrible. If you can get Shedeur Sanders in a situation with Josh Jacobs, if they extend him, which I don't think anyone's staying, but like the Raiders can build around Shedeur Sanders, and they're in a situation where if they do keep the GM and Josh McDaniels, they're going balls to the wall. We're drafting a quarterback. We're going to try and save our jobs. That's just like what the Baltimore Ravens did in 2018 when they drafted Lamar Jackson. They said, you know what? We're going to lose our jobs if we don't win this season. Let's grab a quarterback, behind our aged veteran. And if the aged veteran doesn't continue to play well, Shedeur Sanders is getting thrown out there. Or if you can beat out Jimmy Garoppolo in camp, congratulations, you're the day one starter. Like, Shedeur Sanders has played amazing this year, guys. He's played amazing for what everyone expected. 22 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Again, first year in FBS, like, playing non-HBCU ball. And this dude is stellar. And I cannot wait to see if he does come out in this class where he goes. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't go until, like, the 20s. But I believe in Shedeur Sanders. I see the clutch gene. I see him carrying an offense by his lonesome to a win. I've seen it happen. I've seen it. So I genuinely believe that in the NFL, he'll be doing the exact same thing, shouldering, whatever he needs to win a game. And he has that gene. He has that balls in him to throw certain balls that other guys wouldn't. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is where I do think the slide of Dallas Turner stops. Again, he's one of the best players in this draft, probably the best edge rusher. For me though, I care about run defense. I do. I care about run defense. That's something that you guys will always look at all my videos. I care about run defense, hence why Chop Robinson went over both of them. Really solid pass rusher, better run defense. Jared Verse last year was really improved, was really shocked how good of a run defender he was. He's fell off a little bit this year. But then Dallas Turner, he's never been that solid at run defense. But he's having an amazing pass rusher year when it comes to getting to the quarterback. I do like Dallas Turner. I think he'll be really good. This Buccaneers defense could use more top end, blue chip defenders. You have Vita Vea, and that's it. You've tried with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. You've tried with I can't remember the other guy's name that they drafted recently at the end of the first round. Like, you've drafted 2 pass rushers, and I haven't heard anything about them. Shaq Barrett is constantly hurt. He's aged. He's done. You know what I mean? Like, he's done. There's nothing that you can do about it. He's old. Get more talented guys in this defense. Help guys develop and try and help this team come back. Then I'm gonna go Laiatu Latu. I understand the injury risk. He had to medically retire from Oregon, transfers to UCLA, and now he's playing amazing ball again. But I understand the risk of let's not draft him. But when he's healthy and playing, dude, he is a baller. He's a baller. He is a little older. Where does it say his age? Did they not say his age? I want to make sure I get his age right. Laiatu Latu. Isn't he 20? Yeah, he's 22 years old. So not really that much old, not that old. He might be 23 by the time the draft rolls around. But when it comes to traits, Laiatu Latu's got it. And plus we've seen that the Chargers like taking those UCLA guys. They like taking also the really interesting name guys. Who'd they take? They took Toamalu Toafunga. Oh my gosh, I just butchered that name. They took someone last year that I really liked as well. I haven't said their name in 8 months. Tuli Tuipulotu. There it is. Tuli Tuipulotu. That's his name. They took Tui last year as well, which I believe was also a UCLA guy. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Tui Tuipulotu UCLA? USC. Sorry, he was USC. But they like taking those California guys. And I think that Laiatu Latu, he fits the scheme. Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are old and not producing really. Joey Bosa's been really underwhelming in the last couple of years, man. Like, truly bad the last couple of years. And Khalil Mack he's 35 years old. They're probably going to lose your head coach, so maybe you go with the offensive pick. But for where you're at in the draft, I do like Laiatu Latu in this position going to the Chargers. Then for the Tennessee Titans, I kind of regret taking this, but I do think Rome Odunze would be an interesting pick for the Titans. You got Traylon Burks, you got Kyle Phillips, you got a rotation of slot guys. grab another outside threat. Rome Odunze at Washington, man. He's a deep threat. 11 deep catches, 370 deep yards, 9 contested catches. He's a good wide receiver. I understand why some guys don't like him. I do get it. I really do. But I mean, he's a 6'3", 215 build. I like my wide receivers big bodied and can be a deep threat. 6'3" jump ball guy, I like. Treylon Burks, I liked his mold coming out of college. He hasn't really developed as much as I thought. Get more wide receivers for either Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill, whoever you have next year. Probably will be Will Levis as their starter if he continues to play like he did this week for the rest of the year. You have Derrick Henry still. Continue to help this offense develop. You got Chiggs Okonkwo, an okay offensive line. I think Rome Odunze would be interesting for the Tennessee Titans. I wouldn't be shocked if they take a wide receiver right here. Then for the New Orleans Saints, I'm gonna take Nate Wiggins. I think the secondary could use a little bit more help. You got Marshawn Lattimore, you got Paulson Adebo, you got Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May. Cool. I don't think anyone is scared of that defense, especially in the NFC, where you have a lot of the top end wide receivers. I think you kind of need more help. He's an outside corner. I believe he's 6'2", 6'2", 185. I wouldn't be mad if they went offense with this. Maybe grab another wide receiver. Maybe grab an offensive lineman. But I do think that grabbing defensive backs would help this team a lot. The Jets, same thing, man. I'm gonna do a shocker. I'm going to Emeka Egbuka. I understand that there's a lot they need. They need offensive line help on this team. I get it. I truly get it. There's not an offensive lineman I would take right here besides J.C. Latham. And I just don't think they would go J.C. Latham. I don't. I mean, Emeka Egbuka, him and Garrett Wilson have a connection. They need more wide receiver help. Obviously, they just traded McCall Hardman back to the Chiefs because he didn't really develop as they wanted. No one is doing well on this team right now without Aaron Rodgers. But when Aaron Rodgers comes back, he needs more help. He needs more short to medium depth help. Emeka Egbuka is a slot receiver, has connections with Garrett Wilson. You have your Ohio State boys playing together again. You have Garrett Wilson on the outside, Egbuka at the slot, then whoever you want to put at the other at the wide position at a receiver, whoever you want to throw out there. But you got X and Z solved for the next 5 to 6 years. You got it solved. Congratulations. Then the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go Leonard Taylor III out of Miami, Florida. So let me make sure it's known. They just can't afford to have DJ Reader, BJ Hill, and keep their wide receivers. You pay Joe Burrow the maximum amount of contract as you can. You're gonna pay Jamar Chase. You're gonna pay T Higgins, as we all think. Those three are gonna get paid. That's what we're all thinking. That means Tyler Boyd won't be there, DJ Reader can't be there, and BJ Hill won't be there. Those three guys aren't gonna be there. Because Tyler Boyd makes too much money, Reader makes too much money, Hill makes too much money. You got to let him go. Or you let go of Trey Hendrickson. It doesn't matter. You need to continue to build for the future for this defensive line. You haven't touched D tackle outside of Zach Carter in 2022. Grab Leonard Taylor. He's a really solid run defender. Also a good pass rusher from the D tackle position. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. And you have a lot of good running backs in this division, right? You got not only Lamar Jackson's running ability, but their offensive line. Their offensive line. The Steelers have Najee Harris. He's been a little underwhelming. But you play Nick Chubb. You play Nick Chubb 2 times a year. 3 times a year if everyone makes the playoffs. Like, you need really good interior defensive linemen in this league. And Leonard Taylor, can help the Bengals. Then, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go quarterback. I'm going to go Bo Nix. Bo Nix, man, no one saw this coming from him. Let's be honest. No one saw Bo Nix becoming this good of a quarterback at Oregon. I mean, he transferred up from I believe Auburn. I believe it was Auburn he transferred from. He's been amazing this year. He's 22 years old. You see all the traits of a really solid quarterback. So far, I have 4 quarterbacks being taken in the first round, which I don't think is shocking. Bo Nix is good, man. Like, he's proven everyone wrong. Every single person wrong. When he's under pressure, he throws good. When he's not under pressure, he throws even better. That's what I can really say about it. The Minnesota Vikings, man, I think they're also a quarterback. I think it's JJ McCarthy. They just feel like a JJ McCarthy team. Same thing. Throw under pressure, really solid. Then when he's not under pressure, even better. They just need help. They need help. 6'3", 202. I like my big body football players. This might be able to get Justin Jefferson to stay. I think you still trade Justin Jefferson, maybe get a couple of first-round picks or a good player back. As you guys know, in my last video, I said trade Justin Jefferson to the Panthers for Brian Burns and a first-round pick and a third-round pick. Get something back where you trade him to the Panthers. You know, you see him maybe once every 4 years, but get rid of him. You know what I mean? Just move off of him. Say, hey, thank you for your time here. Let's get as much back as we can. You get JJ McCarthy. He's throwing to Jordan Addison. Maybe he's throwing to someone else, KJ Osborne. But I think grabbing a quarterback like JJ McCarthy, that's 5 quarterbacks in the first round. Again, I think that's very possible for what this quarterback class can offer. A lot of good quarterbacks. And I think JJ McCarthy is just another guy who can throw under pressure. Solid in the pocket, can throw pretty accurately. I like it. Then for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to grab Cooper DeJean. Man, this guy needed to go higher. Let's just say this guy needed to go higher. But he's really good, man. Really good. He's 6'1", 207. White cornerbacks, present. Good in the run, good in the pass defense. Cooper DeJean's just a baller. He's a straight baller. Pair him up with Kevin Porter Jr. Have one of the best cornerback duos on rookie contracts. You play in a division with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, and the Ravens. The Ravens, I guess, man. They don't have any good wide receivers. Zay Flowers looks amazing, though. But, you play in a division in a conference with so many good wide receivers. Grabbing Cooper DeJean, Kevin Porter Jr. for the future. Not Kevin Porter Jr. Not Kevin Porter Jr. He is a basketball player, Nick. I forgot his name. Steelers cornerbacks. It feels so dumb. Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter Jr. I'm sorry. I've been watching NBA all week because first week of the NBA. Joey Porter Jr. Him and Cooper DeJean would be a really good pairing for the next 4 or 5 years, and you can extend them both 8 to 10 years. It'd be an awesome cornerback duo. Then I'm gonna go back to the cornerback well, and I'm gonna grab Kalen Kane for the Houston Texans. Kalen Kane and Derek Stingley Jr. would be a really solid cornerback duo. Kalen Kane, don't listen to what these stats say. Kalen Kane's still a very good corner. He has all the good qualities of a good corner. His Penn State's defense sucks this year. It just sucks this year. They're not good, especially against, what was that Ohio State game? He was horrible in the Ohio State game. Everyone was. But, I feel bad. I think Kalen Kane is still a really good corner. I think he's still going to be a first-round pick. As you can see, he does go in the last 10 picks of the first round. I think someone's going to take the traits that they see and develop him into a good corner, and DeMeco Ryans can do that. Plus, DeMeco Ryans screws over the San Francisco 49ers. I think they would have grabbed the Kalen Kane or Cooper DeJean. I don't think they're a Kamari Lassiter team. So I think the 49ers then go, all right, the 2 cornerbacks that we really liked went before us. Let's grab J.C. Latham. He can be our tackle of the future over at right tackle. You have Trent Williams at left tackle. Right tackle, since Mike McGlinchey left, has been horrendous. Even with Mike McGlinchey, it wasn't the best, but J.C. Latham, that shores up your ends of your offensive line as long as Trent Williams keeps playing. J.C. Latham at right tackle would be awesome for them. Once Trent Williams retires, if you want to move in the left tackle, you can. But I'll keep him at right tackle. That's what I would do. Keep him at right tackle, let him develop, and you have a really good tackle duo for the next couple of years. Then the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to grab Keon Coleman out of Florida State. More of a jump ball receiver. I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow keep Gabe Davis, but you need more wide receiver help. You need more help. He's 6'4", 215. Yes, Stephon Diggs as your your number 1 receiver. You got Gabe Davis as your slot wide receiver 2-esque. But Keon Coleman is a born wide receiver. I don't think he's good enough to be an X receiver right now. He's not going to be a wide receiver 1 for 2 or 3 years. But let him develop next to Stephon Diggs. Let him teach him some. Just watching him develop. Watch what Stephon Diggs does. Try and repeat it. I think Keon Coleman could be really good for the future. They need more help at offense. Whether it's in the second. They went with Dalton Kincaid last year in the first round, right? But they're not using him. Use Keon Coleman. If you get Keon Coleman, use him. I think Josh Allen could really like a big body jump ball receiver and a Keon Coleman with a Stephon Diggs and a Gabe Davis, if you can somehow keep Gabe Davis on the roster. Then the Detroit Lions. This is where I'm going to go Kamari Lassiter for the Detroit Lions. I think the Eagles are punching the ground right now because they wanted Kamari Lassiter to keep that Georgia pipeline going, and they could also use a cornerback. But, the Lions need cornerback help. They have a lot of really solid 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks playing. Grab that bona fide cornerback number 1. You know, Kamari Lassiter's not the best cornerback in this class, but this dude can play. Like, he can just play. He's not gonna commit, he's not gonna commit a lot of fouls. He's not gonna get 18 interceptions a year, but he'll get a lot of pass breakups, be where he needs to be, playing a man and zone defense. And I think he plays it with that dog in him. Unironically, he's from Georgia, plays at Georgia Bulldogs. He's got that kind of dog in him that the Lions have of like, hey, doubt us, man. Go ahead, doubt us, and we're gonna ball out and like kick your butts. I think that's exactly what the Lions have in their system. Then for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm gonna go Xavier Worthy. I would go with Donnie Mitchell if he wasn't injured. But Xavier Worthy, man, he's one of those guys that I am pretty high on as well. When he's healthy, when he's rolling, Xavier Worthy's solid. You got your wide receiver 1 in CeeDee Lamb. Xavier Worthy's got that speed, the shiftiness, the route running, I think, that they could really use at wide receiver 2. You honestly trade for Brandon Cooks. Wouldn't be shocked if they give him no, they did for Brandon Cooks. Wouldn't be shocked if they give him an extension. But have Xavier Worthy, Brandon Cooks, and CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup is a shell of himself since the ACL injury. Who else? Semi Fehoko. Like, you know what I mean? You drafted someone in the 3rd round, I think, as well, a couple of years ago. Don't even know his name. Like, I love the draft. I don't remember his name. I'm sure if I sat here for like 5 minutes, I could think about it. But I can't remember the dude's name who I was really hyped that they drafted a couple of years ago. In fact, I want to see who it is now because I feel kind of sad that I don't remember who it is. And usually when I remember that kind of stuff, it's because I like them. Jalen Tolbert in the 3rd round. That's who it was. Yeah, Jalen Tolbert. I liked Jalen Tolbert last year in the draft. They're not using him. All right, if you're not going to use him, well, we're just going to draft a new guy, replace him, and we're actually going to use this guy. Because Xavier Worthy is a really good wide receiver out of Texas. I think he can really prove to be a really good wide receiver with the Cowboys, especially opposite CeeDee Lamb, who's taking most of the coverage. Then, for the Jaguars, I think they need more secondary help. I'm going to go the best safety in the class, and Cam Kitchens. This dude not only can hit, but he can stop the run. He can stop the run. But when he hits you, man, you feel it. He's one of those old school, boom, thumping safeties. I wouldn't put him on the same tier as Cam Chancellor, but I definitely think that he's Cam Chancellor-esque. And if he can get, 15, 20 pounds of muscle on him, he's going to be a forced fumble machine. He's going to play that run defense like crazy. Like, if you're coming at Cam Kitchens, you want your entire body, like, tensed up. Otherwise, you're fumbling. And I think give 15, 20 pounds of muscle on Cam Kitchens, he could be a Cam Chancellor type of thumper in the middle of that defense. I think that the Jaguars, they need a secondary guy like this. They need someone who has that dog in him. Like I said with Kamari Lassiter, they need someone with that dog in him who wants to go out and fight, who wants to go out and get the ball from other people. Then the Baltimore Ravens, I do have them going on offensive lineman in Amari Mims. He plays right tackle for Georgia. He's injured a lot. That's the issue. Amari Mims is currently injured. And do the Baltimore Ravens want to take an injury-prone right tackle when you have Morgan Moses, who hasn't played at all for 2 or 3 years straight, didn't play at all. But he's playing right now really well for the Ravens, but he's like 34 years old. Didn't they have Jawan James as well, who was injury-prone as well? Like, do you want to keep taking those right tackles who keep getting injured? Maybe not. But Marius Mims, when he's healthy, he's dominant. And you get him at number 28 overall to protect Lamar Jackson, you do it. You do it. Then for the Seattle Seahawks, I am going to grab JT Tuamalo. Oh, I know how to say his name. JT Tuamalo. I know JT. I know how to say it. It's big. Of course, as I'm recording, I've said 27 different names before this, so now I can't remember how to pronounce his name. I know how to pronounce it though. But yeah, JT from Ohio State. You just traded for Leonard Williams. You probably could give him a contract extension to be your interior defensive lineman. But Chenna Nwosu just got hurt. Now, Boya Mafe looks amazing. I knew it when he got drafted. If you let him develop, he has the athletic tools to develop into a really good pass rusher, and he's really developing this year. But JT Tuamalo, I can't remember how to pronounce it. Of course, man, of course. But yeah, JT, he's got everything you want in a pass rusher. Obviously, not the best run defender. That's why I have him, towards the end of the first round. But JT, when he's running after the quarterback, he gets a lot of pressures. He has the speed and athleticism, the bend around tackles, get away from the slide, from the slide steps of tackles, get underneath, go over, whatever you gotta do to get to the quarterback. And the Seahawks losing to Chenna Nwosu for the rest of the year, I believe, really is a big hit. Because is he going to be healthy for next year? Can you save money if you cut Uchenna Nwosu? And just adding more help for this defense. the Seahawks, man, you got the linebackers, you got the secondary. Just continue to add to this defensive line until you're 100% sure it's ready. Then, for the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to go an interesting pick. I'm going to go Jatavion Sanders. As you can see, he's a really good route runner. Doesn't drop the ball ever. Okay run defender. Jatavion Sanders, you know, you don't have a tight end right now as a Dolphins offense. You don't have a tight end right now. Jatavion Sanders, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually jumps up the board a little bit. I think he's a test pretty well at the combine. He's 6'4", 240, exactly what you want in a tight end. Literally almost exactly what you would put down in a pin for a tight end. Really good route runner, but most importantly, he's a yards after the catch kind of guy. And what do the Dolphins like to do, Nick? They like the yak ability. They love the Tyreek Hill ability, the Jalen Waddle ability, the Cedric Wilson ability, the Raheem Mostert, the Devon A-Chain ability. Of the minute you got the ball in your hands, run. Get yards after the catch. Do low slants and go 50 yards. Do post routes and go 47 yards. That's what they do, and Jatavion Sanders is exactly that in a tight end form. I think the Dolphins would feast with him in the middle, going against the linebackers. Then the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna reach a little bit because I like this guy. I'm gonna go Troy Franklin out of Oregon. Troy Franklin is having a great year. He's having a great year. There's no other way around it. He's fluid. He got explosive burst. He's got the NFL speed. Extremely dangerous in the open field. He's kind of like Tyreek Hill. I wouldn't be surprised if during the draft combine he jumps up above Xavier Worthy, above Keon Coleman. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in that Emeka Egbuka, 12 to 20 pick range, because this dude's fast. He's twitchy. He's a little underweight. He's only 185 pounds, kind of like the Devontae Smith. But I don't think he's gonna be that high of a draft pick. He's not a Heisman candidate or anything. But he's dangerous in the catch and run situation. I think the Kansas City Chiefs have been missing that in their offense since Tyreek Hill left and they traded him. They tried getting it with Sky Moore, tried getting it with Marquise Valdes-Scantling, tried getting it with Juju, tried getting it with McCall Hardman. They even traded back for him to try and get that back in their offense. They're missing that Troy Franklin type of receiver, that Tyreek Hill type of receiver, where when the ball is in their hands, they're going to make a play. Or when the play's breaking down, can they get open and can they catch the ball and make a play? And Troy Franklin has proven in Oregon he can make that secondary play. If a play breaks down, can he find the open space, catch the ball, break a tackle, twist their ankles, and get to the touchdown? He's proven he can do it. I think with the Kansas City Chiefs, he'd be amazing. Especially because it's almost a second round pick. You know what I mean? It's a 31st overall pick. The Chiefs have basically everything they want in the world. Every time they draft really well. That's something that's I think is really underrated by Brad Veach, is that he drafts very well. And I think Troy Franklin would look really good a couple of years from now saying, wow, he got drafted after Xavier Worthy, after Keon Coleman, after Emeka Egbuka, after Rome Odunze. Like, that's how far he fell. He should have been the third wide receiver taken. And I think I wouldn't be shocked if that's what happens. So I'm going to be a little early on it and say I was here saying it. So when I look back in a couple of years on this video and react to this video, hey, future Nick, was I right or was I wrong? Then number 32, I'm going to take another reach. I'm going to take Cedric Van Pran from Georgia for the Philadelphia Eagles. Cam Jurgens has played amazing at guard this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised that if Jason Kelce does retire after this year, which it's sounding like he is, like he's done after this year, I wouldn't be surprised if after that's done, they keep Cam Jurgens at guard and they draft Cedric Van Pran in the first round. Get that 5th-year deal, let him develop a little bit more behind this offensive line. And I think that the Eagles, obviously get more Georgia players, yeah. But they need a center for the future. Because I think Cam Jurgens is playing so well at guard, you don't want to yet again move his development back to center. Keep him at guard, let him develop, have Cedric Van Pran walk in, be the day one starter at center, and let him develop. But yeah, this is my mock draft, I got 2 trades at the top where the Patriots move up and the Broncos move up. Malik Neighbors goes at 4, which I think is a little bit more of a shocker than I wanted. Chop Robinson falls at 8. Shedeur Sanders goes at 12. I think he's a shocker as well. Dallas Turner falling. Leatu Latu going at 14. I'm sure is a little bit of a shocker. 5 quarterbacks overall get taken. Jatavion Sanders sneaks in. Troy Franklin sneaks in. Cedric Van Pran sneaks in. Xavier Worthy over Adonai Mitchell, and Mitchell is now a second-round pick. I'm trying to see if any. Yeah, again, Bo Nix. Oh, Michael Penix didn't get drafted. I don't think Michael Penix is a first-round pick. I don't think he is. He's too old. He's too injury-prone. The one healthy season at his age 23 season, he then gets healthy and plays well. You're too old, man. You're 23 years old as a rookie quarterback. There's quarterbacks right now in their second, third year who are just now turning 23 years old. That's not okay in my opinion. I don't like that when it comes to NFL quarterbacks. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, notify when I post next. Again, if you would do something different, let me know. If you didn't like one of my picks or if you love one of my picks, I would appreciate, the comments telling me, "Wow, Nick, that's so dumb. That's so bad." Or, "Wow, Nick, that's so good. Good job." But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.